Good afternoon, my darlings. How are you? So I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since the last video. Time has gone very fast. So as always, I'm trying to remember where we were and where we're going to take off from today. So this I did about 5 days after the last video. So the last video was this, and then I did this Justice League, JL Cut, Jacques Venus Compostelle, and so it's always a very good way to catch up in between videos is to subscribe to my newsletter, because I basically just keep up with everything. Once a week I put what's going on. So yeah, it's about this new moon, the 13th of November. We're going to start from there. So you can, I think I would have posted underneath my last video, so you can go and see that. But we'll begin with what I wrote on the morning of this new moon that we just had. Or let's begin by looking at the new moon here. Let's have a look. Or shall we have a look? No, we'll have a look here. So mainstream, the new moon was in Scorpio, but we can see that we had the sun right on the Liberty pole. This is Libra, ruled by Venus, and we have Mars conjunct. So the sun is exalted, opposite in Aries, so the sun in Libra is in detriment, and Mars rules Aries opposite and is also in full here in Libra. So Sun and Mars, both, these are masculine, aggressive energies, identity, and Mars. So Libra is all about keeping the peace. It's ruled by Venus. It's about diplomacy. It's about harmony. It's about justice. It's about equality, fairness, liberty, fraternity. It is that high cardinal masculine air. So we know that this is where we lost the wisdom. It was when the sun fell in Libra that the eagle fell, became a scorpion. That eagle, in French, an eagle is the egg, A-I-G-L-E. So egg and an L. So Ishtar, Venus, always this meeting of Venus and Mars. Mars rules Scorpio, Venus rules Libra, and opposites Libra, we've got Taurus and Aries, and they too, this is the west and the east. So Taurus, Venus, feminine, fixed earth, and Aries, masculine, high cardinal fire, ruled by Mars. Mars, Venus, and Venus, Mars. Always useful to have this little picture. You can see Mars and Venus, Mars ruling masculine, high cardinal fire, Aries, and Mars ruling fixed water, Scorpio, and Venus ruling fixed earth, Taurus, and Venus ruling high cardinal air, masculine, in Libra. So here is that new moon on the chart. I've got the transitions on the outside of the chart for today. So we had Mars and the sun and moon all conjunct in Libra. And we had Mercury, the ruler of VirgO, in Scorpio. Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, in Libra, debilitated, in detriment, conjunct to the sun in full, because the sun is considered exalted opposite in Aries, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. So Mars, all that aggression in Libra, peace, and Venus, the ruler of Libra, in Virgo. So Venus in Virgo is also considered in detriment and in full. She is considered exalted in Pisces and in full in Virgo. So these are the two sides of that girl. When she's good, she's very, very good. And when she's bad, she's horrid. This is what we always talk about. You know this, from the beach to the bitch, from grace to the gas. And this is this energy we've got incoming now of, you know, the old hag. These are the triple goddesses. The triple goddesses are the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. So Amethyst, Diana, and Hecate. When you find, so you've always got the full moon, the moon goddess Diana with the two crescent phases, but there's always that dark side of the moon. So here's the dark side of the moon, when the moon becomes completely invisible. And the big thing is this opposition with Uranus, and Uranus is still retrograde. Uranus won't be going forward again until January. Jupiter is still retrograde in Aries, and as I have been explaining, Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces and Sagittarius, and we've still got Pluto ending this period of nearly 20 years. It's 17, 18 years that he's had thereabouts in Sagittarius. So this is mutable fire, and it's ruled by Jupiter. And then we've got Neptune right in this cusp, right between Aquarius, where Saturn is at home. This is the true Aquarius is now falling onto the horizon. And we've got Neptune right in that gap between Aquarius and Pisces, also retrograde, and Neptune is going to be going forward on the 6th of December. So that's 6/10, which is like the beginning of the Israel war. The beginning of that war was on the 6th of October. So hang on, what's going on in my thinking here? Yeah, 6th of October is 6/10. I always think of December, for me, death, it means 10. My brain immediately goes 10. So, you know, normally September is the 7th month, not the 9th. September, October is the 8th. November is the 9th. And December is the 10th month. So Neptune is going to be going forward on that 6/10 energy, just like the beginning of the war we just had between the 6th and the 7th of October. 6/7 is those very important numbers. Got the 6th and the 7th seal. So Neptune is going to be entering into Pisces, and Pluto is going to be leaving this mutable fire energy to enter high cardinal Earth for 20 years. So we're moving to this feminine energy, both Capricorn and Pisces. Feminine energy, Saturn rules Capricorn, Jupiter rules Pisces. We've got Jupiter in this Ram, in this Ra. And we've got Mercury, so Jupiter and Mercury rule the skull and bone cross. They rule the mutable cross. M, Mercury, J, Jupiter. You've got your Michael Jackson, John McEnroe, Mick Jagger. So Mercury is in Scorpio. ISIS. We've got Is, Ra, is Ra, lunar energy, fire, masculine energy, which illuminates that light force, the light L. So for this new moon, we've got Venus in the home of Mercury, Mercury in Scorpio. So this is ice. Scorpio is ice. And what do we have? We have in Iceland, we have the lava. We have the lava, we have the fire in Iceland. Iceland is northwest longitude, latitudes, and northwest, southeast is the feminine axis. Northwest, southeast is the feminine axis of the mutable cross. The masculine axis is where we've got Arthur and Merlin, we've got Robin and Batman, we've got Cupid and Valentine. We've got the masculine axis, which is, you know, they are crucifying the feminine axis and they're creating this new gap. But as we saw last time, we have this 13th sign coming up, killing Scorpio, Ophiuchus, but we've also got this 14th sign where we had the full moon, which was what we were talking about in the last reading, which was right in between Pisces and Aries. So this new moon, we've got the sun and the moon, which is, and you know, that is Ra energy, moon and sun. And then we've got, it's all about the anima and the animus. We've got Mars and Venus that rule always this Scorpio, Libra, Taurus, and Aries. So we've got Uranus, that explosive energy, still retrogrades. We've got the beginning of the mumbles of this, you know, apparently there's 33 volcanoes, there's earthquakes going off, and if this explodes, you know, that is going to stop the true air, the air passage. Saturn rules Aquarius, he's at home. It's always about, you know, making everything go wrong for the true air to bring up this Dauphin, the Black Madonna with her Dauphin sun, Mercury. Everything has been timed for this. So we've got the moon right now here. So let's have a look. We've got Uno's video. So Uno did this video. I had no idea. I always find out everything from Uno. I've turned the sound off so I don't get into trouble. And he's got beautiful music. So Iceland, it's, you know, Iceland is like New Zealand. We've got Iceland, New Zealand, Ireland, and Hawaii. Those are the 4 islands that represent the 4 corners of the mutable cross, in my opinion. I'm just guessing, but I've spoken about this before. All those islands, they don't have snakes. They're virgin lands, a very similar landscape, that volcanic sand like in New Zealand. So we've had the Maui fires, and you know, we've had the big floods when I was in New Zealand. So yeah, these are the important islands of this mutable cross. So Iceland, we've got mainstream saying this new moon is in Scorpio. It's all about Ophiuchus taking the place of Scorpio. We know from all those images he kills Scorpio, and it's also about inverting the moon, the female, normally the anima, the animus. So the hidden feminine energy of every man is the moon and Venus, but we're now putting moon and Mars together, and the hidden masculine energy in every female is her Animus, so anima is the masculine female energy, animus is the masculine female energy. So Sun and Mars is being turned into Sun and Venus. There's this mixture going on. Right, so video of Uno. Iceland facing the threat of a volcano. Even in the worst case scenario, we never imagined that. So this was just all happening on the 13th. So we've got nice images. The island of 33 volcanoes. So that's our spine. We've, you know, the spine vertical. It's always, the new year is not the north-south. The moon, the sun and the moon that rule the north and the south is really the west-east, Mars, Venus. There's always that. The new year is that 21st of March. It's not the 21st of December. Okay. Iceland, Iceland, ice cream, ice cream. This is the frozen, the ice ScorpiO, and she's being made, you know, they're bringing in this masculine, the raw, the fire, the energy of, and the lava is also the cycle I showed you last week about the bed bugs, the cycle, the lava. The bed bugs is in the beetle, the beetles, the four corners, the beetle, the rising of Isis is in that beetle. All my last videos have been talking about it. So we've got this eye, as we see in Lord of the Rings, just like in New Zealand. New Zealand, that's where it was filmed, the Lord of the Rings. She's got her little snake on here as well. So we got the Kraken going on. So this, we've got the red and yellow masculine colors, red air, yellow fire. Does Uno say here? It's been in a state of emergency since Thursday. The country, which has 33 active volcano systems, the highest number in Europe, is once again facing intense seismic activity. Okay. So in Stockholm, MB, we've got the same Matthew Perry, Matthew B, PB, the lamb. I'm going to see the lamb in a minute. Okay, so this division. Okay, so yeah, this is Back to the Future. So this is the new moon that we had was the almanac new moon. So the new moon on November 13th, we have 13 new moons this year? That would mean it would be an MM 1313, which we're making the 13 into a B. So that's M13, and then making the next 13 into a B, MB, MP, LAM. Named the Beaver Moon is on November the 13th, marking the beginning of a lunar cycle. So again, that cycle, the lava, the new Old Farmer's Almanac. So it's an almanac, so they're saying it's in Scorpio. Okay. So here, almanac, 1950 to 2000, that's your 50. 50, we've got Dorian Gray. We've got the Greys now, this axis where the North and South nodes are now in VirgO Pisces. So this is black and white, making the grey. 1982 was the year of the water dog. So water is feminine, dog is masculine. And this is the Perrier Paris, so Matthew Paris, the water. And I think Uno shows us that there was, she looks a bit like Olivia Newton-John, instant infants. We've got there, almanac, 1982, so 8, that's September the 8th, so that's the date that the Queen died. It's the Virgin Mary's birthday, 1982. And yeah, he's bringing in President Reagan. So this is what my video was about last time, talking about Noahide law coming in and old Mac Ronald Donalds. So there we've got all these connections coming in. It's difficult to keep up because it's going so fast. And here we got the rose again, it's Venus. So this is exactly what my last 2 videos and this whole last newsletter was about. It was all the posts covering. I was talking a lot about the Orthodox energy, and I think that if we look at the pictures, see, I will have put, so we had Chiron, the storm Chiron, and now we've got Deb. Do I have pictures? I might not have. So I've got the Venus, the whale, the Saperi, William Tell, the Enki. I think that I didn't put the pictures in, but in my last video you will see as the cycle that I'm talking about, the lava, from the lava. There we go. So this was what President Reagan, he signed with the Orthodoxes in case of martial law, that the 7 Noahide laws would come in. So here we've got him with the King and Queen of Iceland. In 1982, so it was signed in 1981 the first time. This was the wedding of Diana. She walked up the aisle at St. Paul's. I've always said that that was that journey between Sirius and Altair, Gemini, Sagittarius, masculine axis. Diana is Gemini with moon in Sagittarius. I think I've covered it in other videos. So lava lamp. We've got the lamb, Islam, lamb, moon with this fire. And look, we've got circa, it's always the circus. Antique computer. They always show us these computers. Magnovnux. Okay, original water still in bottle, Perrier. Paris. And then, yeah, so he's found this on November the 14th to pay for. So year of the rabbit. We are in the year of the rabbit, but 1982 was the water year of the dog. But they've got a rabbit next to this, and we are now in the year of the rabbit. So that's how they're telling us, the rabbi. the rabbi. The rabbi, which is what all my last video was about. Little House on the Prairie, the Men in Black, Orthodox in between the West and the East, between Isra, the new L, before we get into the Twin Peaks, the end of Moses, 10 commandments, and we go to 7 Noahide laws. So the ice, the snow, this is exactly what we see in Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas, I've been showing for many years, Paris, Texas, deserts. And you get that first scene in the film. So the first scene in the film, and so he's got his red cap on and he's looking for water. And do we get that bit where he comes in? Yeah, you got the cross right here. And we get the ice. So again, the Ra, the masculine, and he comes in and there's the big ice machine, and there you've got the little girl lying on the horizon, the eye on the horizon, and there's the ice, MC ice, so normally Mars rules Scorpio and Aries, so now he's got his, that's the little Arab, the fez hat. So normally IsIs, Scorpio is feminine. It's just about the changing of the anima, animus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus. That's all that it's about. What did I write on this new moon? I put today's new moon. This is an extract for the magazine I write for Down Under. 13th of November, new black moon in Libra. New moon is when the sun and moon are conjunct and the moon loses visibility, dark side of the moon. New moon is a fresh start, so the energy is about balance, finding harmony and equality and fairness. Libra is about relationships, partnerships and sharing. This new moon opposes Uranus. Uranus is our conscious mind. Uranus is an outer planet. Uranus deals with change, and Uranus is currently where he was 84 years ago in 1939 on Medulla aka Algol, just between Aries and Taurus. So Aries, Taurus, Mars, Venus. From I am Aries into I will Taurus, will I am. So we were talking about this. LamB always says that Taurus is I will. I have also seen that Leo is I will. What I think is all the fixed signs are very much of that energy I will. Taurus is I have, but all the fixed signs are I will energy. All the cardinal signs are I am energy. All the mutable signs are very much I adapt energy. So, will I am is showing that mix, that merging of fixed and cardinal energy. I am Aries into I will Taurus. The X marks the spot on our ability to open our third eye, to be the masters of our emotions. The medulla is the bird at the back of our skull that controls our instincts, which we've seen so much in my videos. Can we stay above the drama and find peace in knowing it's all an alchemical journey from lead to gold? Uranus is unpredictable, an electric shock. Uranus still retrograde in Aries is like an elastic band ready to fire the primordial explosion of untamed emotion. So it's exactly what we've got in Iceland. Mercury in Scorpio, Uranus opposite Sun and Moon and Mars. Mars, ruler of Aries, is conjunct to the Sun and the Moon in Libra. Both Sun and Mars in detriment and fall for this new moon. Mars wars rules Aries, And Venus, peace, rules Libra. Mars, aggression, ruler of Aries. Uranus is in Aries and is bang opposite Mars, Sun, Moon. Opposition is a tug of war, or there is a meeting point midway. Uranus will bring changes in how justice is received and given. Aries is the ram, Mars, his lamb, Islam, and Libra, the scales, is Ra, the light force, L. The balance of the scales of Venus is diplomacy. Saturn on the lamb, the thalamus, third eye, at home in Aquarius. Saturn is now direct and square to Mercury, just moved into Scorpio. Mercury, the mind, logic and communication in the realm of obsession and vengeance, secrets, money and power. Scorpio is the womb of the mother of Isis, and Mars, Ra, rules Scorpio and Aries. So you've got the top and the bottom of the spine. But we've been told that the west-east is Mars, Venus. When spring, the new year, is Mars, Venus. This is Scorpio, Aries. Mars rules the head, Aries, and the sexual organs, Scorpio. And now we've got the new horizon. We're going to have Aquarius that falls for the new wheel. But for the moment, it's Taurus. It's just the summer solstice. The summer solstice, Taurus, is the first sign to take over the new cross on that summer solstice. So this is why we've got Mars and Venus are so important. Taurus, Scorpio. Venus rules Taurus. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And Mars rules Aries. And Venus rules Libra. So it really is all about the vertical, the horizon. X marks the spot when you can find the true passage. The north, the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes are all about that sun, moon, Mars, Venus. Always it's the sun's path, the lunar path, and the vertical, the true vertical, the true, which we've been told is the winter, summer. See, the sun and the moon are on the vertical, on the horizon, and the vertical should be Mars and Venus. Mars, you see, Isis, and Ra is Ra-El. There will be no need of the sun and the moon in the new kingdom. It's for when you light your lamp, your lamb. So it's again that lamp that we just saw in the video. We just saw. It's about the lava lamp. Normally the lamp is the lamb. It's the feminine. It's the Isis. It's Scorpio. And we've just, you can see, we've had Mercury. Mercury right today is now on Antares, the Four Musketeers, Antares, Aldebaran, Regulus, and Saturn now moving forwards on Fomalhaut. There's the four fixed cross corners. So Taurus is the first on the summer solstice. We're no longer on Gemini, we're in Taurus, and Venus rules Taurus. And what are they doing? They're making her sterile through twins, Gemini, the Free Martins. We'll be coming to that. We'll look at that. So where was I here? Where was I? Saturn is now direct and square to Mercury, just moved into Scorpio. Mercury, the mind, logic and communication in the realm of obsession and vengeance, secrets, money and power. Scorpio is the womb of the mother of Isis, and Mars, Ra, rules Scorpio and Aries. Is and Ra, lunar and solar. Venus rules the sign opposite Scorpio. Taurus and opposite Aries, Libra. It's all about Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, anima and animus, the hidden masculine, feminine psyche in every man, woman. Her animus, Mars, Sun, and his anima, Moon, Venus. Venus, ruler of Libra, where new moon is, sits in Virgo. The Virgin, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Scorpio and Venus is in detriment in Virgo. This will bring in that energy of the dark side of the girl. When she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was Horus, Sun. The tail of the Milky Way snake sits in Virgo too, and Libra in the scales of the snake. Moses, Aries, said, all those bits shall live. All those able to find that inner balance and wisdom. Is your heart heavier than the feather? Justice found. We all have to pass through her. L, the last L leg angle, is the dark side of the new moon. Okay, so what pictures? We just put that. Sun and moon. There's the sun and the moon and Mars and Mercury just in Scorpio. And Moses, Aries. It's all about looking from Aries opposite Libra and the snake on the pole. So what I wrote in this magazine I write for, we've got tomorrow, waxing crescent moon, second phase after the new moon. This is a time to set new intentions for the month ahead and work on self-improvement. So we're going to have moon on the dart of the archer, Sagittarius. Let's go and have a look. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And there is the moon. So I was looking down under, so it will be different, slightly different. So I probably saw the moon right on the dart because I had New Zealand, but now I've got where we are now. So we're actually going to have the moon on this noon key again. So the dart from the fire, from mutable fire, Jupiter the ruler is in Aries. We've got Mercury right on Antares, right on the heart of Scorpio. So moon right on the L is Ra. Jupiter retrograde, Uranus retrograde right on Algol, in between Mars, Venus, Aries, Taurus, going forward in January, Jupiter going forward, I think at the end in December. When does Jupiter go forward? Mercury, oh yeah, Mercury's about to go retrograde on the 13th. We have to check that out. So Jupiter from retrograde September the 4th, so December the 30th. So this is going to be a crazy Christmas. We're going to have Mercury retrograde, Jupiter still retrograde, Mercury and Jupiter. So we really could see big delays for Christmas. Mercury, air, Saturn at home, air. And if there is a volcano and we have the soot and we can't, it could be big disruption coming up for travel. And Uranus is going to be going forward at the end of January. So moon on the dart, but for us it's going to be over here, it's going to be on the elbow, noon key, Sagittarius, D'Artagnan. So we've got V for Vendetta, the Houses of Parliament, that's everything I've been talking about. D for vengeance, Mercury in Scorpio, and Mercury sits on the heart, art. So this is heartly hair. Again, we're in the year of the rabbit, the hair, the air. He's taking over from the true air, Saturn of Scorpio on the fixed star Antares. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Pisces, and Mercury rules Gemini, Virgo. And I don't know why I've got a little JMMJ are the rulers of the mutable cross. Mercury, ruler of Virgo, where Venus is in detriment. This is an attack on her fertility, Scorpio, the life-death portal, and Virgo, the fallopian tubes. The moon womb on the dart into the bullseye of the heart passage. So Mercury on that heart, betrayal, Scorpio, the kiss of Judas, Jupiter. Scorpio represents power, money, and Mercury represents commerce and negotiation. Jupiter and Mercury rule where head and tail of snake also sit. So, yep, Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter rules Pisces, where the head of the North Node is, and Mercury rules Virgo, where the tail of the South Node is. Where head and tail of snake also sit now in Pisces head Jupiter and Virgo tail Mercury. So a sting, a whiplash, injustice to innocence. Mars and Sun still conjunct in Libra, and Mars and Sun both in detriment and fall in Libra. So justice falls, and it's time to make the new intentions and rebuild from the injustice seen. So a new justice with that opposition to Uranus of the Sun and the Moon. We could be seeing, you know, a whole new set of laws and justice coming in. Uranus is about change. Venus still in Virgo, past Barone is abducted. That's why we had, in this war, we had all these women abducted, these young girls, virgin suicides in the Hamas of Hades, hell. We have full vision now, and we can choose to leave the cave. A T-square between Venus opposite Chiron, the wound and moon, square to Venus and Chiron. Venus in Virgo and Chiron in Pisces, again ruled by Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter in Aries and Mercury in Scorpio. And Mars, ruler of Scorpio and Aries, conjunct Sun in full, and Mars is debilitated in Libra. Libra is about fairness and patience, and Sun and Mars are about action and identity. Competition and aggression is not what Libra is about. Does justice fail? Now, most of them I've missed. I don't think there's really anything that important. So 8th of November, the wheel should close at 88 HH. So there we've got the 88 miles per hour. MPH, miles per hour. That's Matthew Perry. H. So that was Uno showing us Back to the Future when the car goes 88. Currently Jake with an extra peg leg blocks the wheel at H and M. So H and M, Harry, Meghan. H is 8, M is 13, which is the B. M is 13, and also if you put the 1 and the 3, we got the B, the MB making 13th sign, M13 of Fukius. HM is also HP, B. So again, the lamp, the lamb, lead to lead, BP, PB. H&M is why so much drama over Harry and Meg. Lots of H&M marks out there too. Where attention goes, energy flows. Jour J. All rituals to the Rolf Wolf flow rely on the sway of the unconsciousness of the collective swing. So you can see we've got that critical point. We've got the positive, negative 2 swings here of this magnetic swing. Not so, but this one, this is about very funny. You've got John McEnroe, Jupiter, Mercury. You cannot be serious. You can, Cain and Abel. You cannot be serious. So this is just talking, are you serious? Talking about oranges. Yes, they serve. It's all about slurping orange juice. This is Palestine, Jaffa, the Jaffa. And Sirius, keeper of the empire, the four corners, secrets of Sirius, dog star, orange. Right, Cyrus the Great was the founder of the Achaemenid Empire and king of Persia. He venerated in the Hebrew Bible as Cyrus the Messiah for conquering Babylon and liberating the Jews from captivity. In ancient Egypt, Sirius was regarded as the most important star in the sky. In fact, it was astronomically the foundation of the Egyptians' entire religious system. It was revered as Sothis and was associated with Isis, the mother goddess of Egyptian mythology. Isis is the female aspect of the Trinity formed by herself, Osiris, and their son Horus. Modern scholars have considered Sothis to be Sirius. Ancient Egyptians held Sirius in such high regard that most of their deities were associated in some way or another with the star. Anubis, the dog-headed god of death, had an obvious connection with the dog star, and Tot, Hermes, the great teacher of humanity, was also historically connected with the star. So according to the Bible, Sirius the Great, and there's some talking about Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, there's this like a Sirius Black that morphed into a black dog. The star Sirius, also called the dog star, had attracted the attention of humanity. So you see Jupiter and Mercury, Sirius is next to Gemini, and we're now moving into Taurus. It's no longer on Gemini. Jupiter and Mercury are no longer can they hold on. So this is always this X marks the spot, this passage, which is what I'm going to take you to now, again, about Venus. So before we get to there, just as we're here, 12th house, Pisces, last door out of the wheel, home to the collective unconscious, hotels, churches, hospitals, islands. Pisces, mental health, madness, the abyss. Do not expect the prisoners to help you out of prison. Rumi. The Cell of Crazy by Gianmarco Grosso, GG. So, you know, that's from Hotel California. And this is what's going on now with Neptune about to enter. So I'm talking about Freud, and we've got, so the last passage of Neptune in Pisces was 1859 to 1874. And we've got Neptune about to enter from 2023 to 2039, 2040, which is the same time Pluto is entering into Capricorn. So they're going to be working together in a little sextile in the feminine energies. So at the moment we've got Jupiter and Mercury ruling where the head and the tail are in Pisces and Virgo. So it's a kind of a preparation of this energy when we're going to have Neptune in Pisces and Pluto in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. So Jupiter and Mercury, you know, trying to gain brownie points now. So this was all about, so this is why we've got all the mental health coming in. They know that this is a time when people will start to invest in their mental health, which is what's happening. And it's not a bad thing. Everyone is learning about, but there's also, you know, the time that the veil is lifted, that the covert narcissists and the narcissists, we can see through them. We can see through the manipulative energies of Pisces, and all the mutable signs have got that, you know, adaptable, great, but also that bipolar energy. So there would have been a lot of stuff I was thinking about then. So yeah, you can read that. And then I was talking about Nathaniel Cotton. So he came out exactly at this time as well, was one mental, he knew what was coming. His poetry and verse tells us exactly. So he did a beautiful book for children called Visions in Verse, which I have, and you can read, but he opened the first mental asylum, and then just after that we had Freud, Jung, and the collective unconscious coming in. So that is my great-great-grandfather. Hell, 12 disciples, 12th house, land of the milk and the honey. And then earth, we've got lungs, Jacob's ladder, and yes, that diaphragm is right there, and the bottomless pits, the intestines. We've got all the culture playing dead, because, you know, it's the end of the old way of farming for sure. We're going to have Uranus coming into Taurus, all that's going to get changed. So what am I saying here? Zodiac, zoology, or zodiac. There are only 4 humans in the zodiac wheel, the zookeepers. Aquarius, man, Jesus, and Virgo, Virgin Mary, Rose. And the twin boys, 7-year-old children, Gemini. The double 707 last leg passage in your brain crane. Saturn, Aquarius, and Mercury, Virgo, Gemini, Jack and Jill went up the twin tower hill, double L DNA strands, but they fell and broke their crown and came tumbling down, fell flat as pancakes. As we see here, flat soldiers, grown men, playing dead at the lion gates of Orsh, where Will.i.am and Kate came in 2016. That is the summer solstice, the 21st of the 6th. 6 times 6 times 6, Lion Gates, Leo. So we've got Saturn at the moment in Aquarius, and we've got all these men lying flat. Down with the lamb, thalamus, opposite Aquarius. The lion lies down with the lamb. So it's always the same thing. Mary Magdalene at the feet of Jesus, rides the beast, Leo lion on the horizon. Mary Virgo, Jesus Aquarius, and the child Gemini. So just like what we just saw, Isis, Osiris, and Horus. Here we see at the Lion Gates, Orsh, the death of Rosemary's Babies, 1968, end of Pluto and Leo generation. Yep, it's ending. Pluto's about to go into Capricorn now, so it's leaving Sagittarius. It's the end of this generation. There's the new generation, a new way of agriculture. Pluto going into Capricorn, Uranus going into Taurus. The generation, the film came out in 90, the retirement age is 64. When I'm 64, yes, it's all about the retirement. And the Beatles, 4 corners to your brain, 46 chromosomes. Tractors block the passage through the Lion's Gate to Aquarius. So there you've got all the tractors, and here are the Lion's Gates, and here is the Cathedral of Orsh, which is the same as Notre Dame. And on that day we had, oh yeah, I'm showing Pluto in 1968, right between Leo and Virgo. And these are the Lion Gates, and there's D'Artagnan. Okay. This day, 5 days ago, the 11:11, the 4 legs, seasons to the central North Star, Polaris, spin, spine, pines, always 1 leg under the horizon, 1 soul dire, hidden. So at the moment it's the 100th anniversary of the unknown soldier in Paris. They've been talking about him, so that makes that last leg, the 1 of the 100, is the 1. Only 111777 visible, hence why the unknown 17 dub L07 soul dire is 21. He's 21 years old, which is 777. Can you remember your last leg under the horizon? To find your vertical left-right brain is Ra-El. Head is found at X marks the spot. Heart, HH88. It's all alchemy. It's basically all about your spiritual transmutation from all for one, one for all, on all fours, animal flesh. 14 pieces of Osiris merged on the Champ de Mars is your root chakra spine. All news is just the alembic pot. Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, sulfur, salt, and little boy blue. Mercury, that's it. Is and Ra now become L. L17, last leg, dub L07. So that's your swing again, the triangle, and look, you've got the upside down cross right here in that triangle. Critical point, comprehension is in the middle, passivity, suffering, decadence, materialism, activity, pleasure, splendor, spiritualism. There's Rolf with his D'Artagnan, Buffalo Bill, always that same, V for Vendetta, Anonymous, beards. And here we've got this great picture which is just this merging of Israel, the sun and the moon, and Mars and Venus on the horizon, and the four humours. The law, Israel, Isis, the mother, matrix, matter, female, father, Ra, spirits, and L. So Ra is red, Isis is blue. This is that red is masculine, the blue is feminine. And we've now got this pale blue colour, as we see in Scotland, St Andrews, and also the Israel flag. And the Greek flag is pale blue and white. And if you mix red and white, you get pink. And if you mix blue and white, you get that pale blue. So we've got this lunar energy, this lamb. As I was thinking, something I was thinking about today, about that pale pink and that pale blue from that red and blue. So there's your four legs, the North Star, Paris, you've got the Arc of Triomphe, the Unknown Soldier, the Champ de Mars, and the 12 legs of the astrology wheel. There's just your triangles. You've got the summer, spring, winter, fall, north, south, west, east triangles. And there you've got Isis, Osiris, and Horus, and they become one. You can see it's merged as one. And Ra is Ra-El. You have the three together, you get the last leg, the last L, the last one. Three, and the last is under the horizon. Three swords, all for one and one for all. You need, so the tabernacle, the mercy seat, the nucleus, the phosphorus, H, chief cornerstone. This is why where I live, they burnt down the corner house in Lupiac. Lupa is right under Scorpio, where Mercury is right now. So that just the nucleus, the proton makes the electron. Israel, electron, L. That's all it is. And this between Mars and Venus, Taurus and Aries, how we get that, we get from the ox to the A, Alpha, Omega, Aleph, Tav, and it begins again. It's that cycle. It's going to begin again. The lava. The number in England was 111. Four Musketeers. Tesla. This is the Moses. This is the snake on the pole. You've also got that T of the Tesla, LA. There she is. That is the woman that I had that dream of, that I tried to explain. So you've got the two breasts, the eyes on the horizon, and then we have the one breast of Venus when you open your third eye. So it's just InaNNA, Ishtar. It's always the same. She's holding the DNA. She's holding the two snakes. And then you've got this feminine energy, frog, spider, cat, and they've put the masculine. We've got Prince Charles himself right there with the crown. The crown. You know all these images, the last leg, remember, the V for Pisces, it's the voice. So we've got Neptune entering. We're going through this 12th house now. The voice. The 7, the two angles, female, masculine. It's Mercury, the two boys, Gemini, 7, and L, Virgo, dub L, 07. Right, so that's just that film. Lucifer Rising, Paris, the Upside Down, Octopussy, this alchemical journey, as Lucy and Mr. Tumnus. I think I just missed. Got the first quarter moon. This half moon is a period when obstacles tend to rise their head and where decisions need to be made. This is not a time to hesitate, but a time to remove any obstacles and push forward. The moon is now halfway between new and full. This is when the moon makes a square right angle to the sun. The sun in Libra is still in full and still conjunct to Mars in detriment in Libra. Moon just between Capricorn and Aquarius on the 20th of November. Moon moves from Capricorn to Aquarius. Both signs ruled by Saturn, and the moon is conjunct to Saturn. Saturn, the black cube of Mecca, and Moon, the ruler of Islam. Both rule the feminine cardinal cross. Saturn rules Capricorn, and Moon rules Cancer. We've got Midnight Express here. Venus still in Virgo in opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer in Pisces. Mars and Sun still in Libra opposite Uranus. Huge changes are upon us. We are seeing the whole dynamic of the sun and the moon change places, changing of the guards, merging of the four corners or division time. So let's have a look at that. 17th. So that's tomorrow. 18, 19, 20. So there's the moon in between Capricorn and Aquarius, and here's Saturn. So we're going to have this half moon right conjunct to Saturn. We had the same thing in Capricorn. Well, no, we had the same thing in Aquarius. So Saturn, moon conjunct the rulers of the feminine high cardinal. So Saturn rules Capricorn, the moon rules Cancer, and we've got this feminine planet energy, although Saturn also rules Aquarius, but we've got the moon, a half moon in Aquarius, and we got the sun still conjunct to Mars in Libra, still both in full. Sun rules the sign opposite where the moon is, so Leo opposite Aquarius is ruled by the sun, and this sun is in detriment here in Libra. But there will be a trine, therefore. It's going to be a trine going on between this Mars and Sun and Moon and Saturn. Mercury still in Scorpio, Venus still in Virgo. Written about it. This is enormous. Mercury is going to get here, and then he's going to be retrograding over this gap right here. Let's watch it. I wrote a post about it. Maybe I mentioned it in the last video, or I certainly would have put it in my last newsletter. So Mercury gets right to the hand of the archer. And then on the 12th, he's stationary. And so this is going to be all that preparation. Oh, that is going to be just, he's going to be completely blinded by the sun as the sun moves into Sagittarius. Mercury completely blinded. And then Mercury is going to make it back to Scorpio, right on the sting for Christmas Day. Oh my goodness. Venus will then be at home in Libra. Okay, well, we're just having a little sneaky peek at that, but that is massive. Mercury retrograding between Sagittarius and Scorpio, which is the gap. It is that 13th sign, rising of Fucius, the killing of Scorpio, and Mercury right of that Christmas period. So we may well be having some explosion coming up in Iceland, Scorpio. The waxing giver's moon phase is a time for reflection. It's a time to look back on the life lessons you've learned and the internal growth that has come from them, and use this to adjust your current goals of life path accordingly. Moon is now almost at plenitude. Moon is on the tail of the whale of Jonas. This could be the splash of the whale's tail. Moon conjunct lunar north node in Pisces, and Moon is opposite Venus and south lunar node in Virgo. Have we found the spirit of Pisces, the mermaid, before she fell to earth with no voice in Virgo and was left with a pair of legs to walk the material path? Venus is exalted in Pisces, but in detriment where she is now in Virgo. Both Mars and Virgo, Mars and Venus, war and peace and detriment. We have seen the worst side of the dark side of the moon. How have we dealt our own cards? How have we faced our own ability to be humble and repent when faced with the darkest shadows of humanity? Neptune square to Mercury in Scorpio. Illusions and delusions are brought to the surface. Secrets discovered in the light of the full moon exposes what we have really just walked through. So we move forwards by one day. Okay, so that's backwards. 17, 18, 19, 20. So let's just look at this one first. So we see on the 20th, we can see Sun, Mars in Libra, Mercury in Scorpio, and we've got a square to the moon. The moon is just between Capricorn and Aquarius. That's what we've just seen. Here we've got the moon just moved in. We still be making that square to Mars. So Mars and the moon square. Still that opposition to Uranus. Venus opposite Chiron. The wounded healer in Pisces. So there's very much that Little Mermaid energy, Pisces. Little Mermaid, the voice, the wound, the spirit, and the flesh. And we've got, you see that North Node in Pisces and that South Node in Virgo. So let's move now to the 24th, which is what I was just reading about. 24th now. So we've now got Venus is still in Virgo, Jupiter and the moon conjunct, making a square to Pluto. Making so we probably would have had on that. We had a little sextile with Pluto, so this time we do have a square. 24th, got this square between Jupiter and Pluto and the moon, and this is in Pisces, right? So this is on Jonah's whale. Let's have a look. 24. So right between, we got the sun right about to come into Scorpio, Venus about to come onto the blue star, Spica, and we've got moon and Jupiter. So let's moon and Jupiter. Moon still in Pisces, Jupiter still in Aries. Aries, but they will be conjunct and they will be making a square to Pluto. It'll be Jupiter that will be making more of the square. Yeah, Jupiter, not the moon. The moon is just still in Pisces. And Uranus is no longer opposite the Sun and Mars, but Venus is still opposite Chiron. And Neptune is square to Mercury. So that really is drowning energy. Mercury in Scorpio. Neptune still, no, Neptune is not going to be in Aquarius. Neptune is in Pisces, but Neptune is still retrograde. Still retrograde, doesn't go back as far as Aquarius. Neptune will be moving forward on the 6th of December. Of the full moon exposes what we have really just walked through. Okay, so we read that, and then I will talk to you before the next full moon on the 27th of November, and we'll just have a quick peek. 27th is going to be on Aldebaran, goodness, right? So that is the Taurus again. It's all Venus. Have Moon on Aldebaran and Jupiter, Uranus in Aries. Sun will then be in Scorpio. So this is going to be a big full moon. Mars now officially in Scorpio, Sun officially in Scorpio, Mercury right on the knee, rather on the tail of Scorpio, on that sting, right? So yeah, we have got a really big, what did I put? The full moon phase is thought to be the most powerful of all the moon phases. It brings with it time to harvest intention, celebrate achievement and reap reward. The full moon is often compared as the yin to the yang of the new moon, and as such can represent a period of closure and coming full circle. Full moon in Taurus, just as the last new black moon was in Libra. Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. Moon is exalted in Taurus, for Taurus is the earth mother and moon rules Cancer. Moon goddess Diana, Sun opposite in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. So again, Mars, wars, Venus, peace are the actors again with Sun and Moon. Mars is no longer in detriment nor debilitated in Libra, but at home in Scorpio. Mars rules the renewal of the rotting leaves in Scorpio and takes us into a time of introspection and self-analysis. Scorpio is about others, possessions, and Taurus is about what you possess. What are your values? It's the money axis. Mine, Taurus, and yours, Scorpio. Mars, ruler of Scorpio, at home in Scorpio. Good for all dealings with money and business, also for all intimate affairs. Venus still in VirgO, in detriment. So Venus, the ruler of Taurus, still in detriment. However, for this full moon, she sits on Spica, the blue star of harvest. You reap what you have sown. So all your effort these past 2 weeks to keep the peace, to find a point of negotiation and equality will now pay off. Mercury, ruler of VirgO, still in Scorpio, is shrewd. VirgO is dutiful. Venus is your worth, and Taurus full moon is about knowing your worth and receiving your due. So we see Venus is going to be right on Spica. So we do have from this 13th of November, new black moon to the full moon in Taurus. So from Libra to Taurus, both ruled by Venus, and all this time we've had Venus in the girl, and this is going to be right on Betty Blue, bringing up Black Betty. into my next newsletter. This is something that came up. It's a exhibition in London, which, you know, they're showing us how they've made Nut, the Milky Way goddess, into the solar femme solar, and it's will be on show as part of the Surrealism and Witchcraft exhibition at LamB Gallery, London. So you see, they call this witchcraft. She's got her right leg and her left arm, and she's got her it's her left arm. She's got her right arm off the ground, her left arm, so it's showing us this new axis that will be the masculine axis with the sun, this femme solar. And they also show us the triple goddesses, and with this fourth phase, the great mother. And so that, you know, it is just nuts. That was nuts. The triple goddesses. So, you know, this is not a cult. This is just the wisdom taken from us. It's just nature. That's all I'm saying in that. This, I add the nymph, all this coming in again, this masculine energy taking over the water, the way of water. When she was 64, she swam from Cuba to Florida, the floor of Ida, and that is 177 kilometers or something, which is your 111777 triple goddesses again. And very much like in the story of Zeus and Taurus, when the cow goes from Greece, crosses over, that story. In the myth, the god assumed the form of a bull and enticed Europa to climb onto his back. Once there, the bull rode into the sea and carried her to Crete, where he revealed his real identity. Europa became the first queen of Crete and had 3 children with Zeus. So the triple goddesses. So that reminds me of this, and there's been there's a big Netflix coming up. So we've got Diana, The Crown, Netflix. I've never watched Netflix, I just see clips, so I know that that's going on, and this is being played with Jodie Foster and some other actress, and I just popped onto that. So this is, you know, they're showing us again, it's all the time. The story of Mithraism is always the keeper of the 4 corners. Sirius, Sirius at the Nile line, Jordan, Gemini, Mercury, Cupid. The summer solstice is now officially on the wand of Merlin. Merlin is between Gemini and Taurus on the GG galactic gap. Opposite is Valentine, Ophiuchus, the snake charmer. Fake 13th sign is the East Golden Gate. Mithras is Westway, Merlin, Silver Gate. Orion, Mithras, Dorian Gray, the Milky Way galactic Gaga gap. So officially on the 216, the sun is no longer in Gemini, the twins, the boy, but in Taurus, Tora, Torso. The summer solstice is the first leg of the 4 corners to enter onto the fixed cross, and the cow jumps over the moon. She is made sterile to kill the mother of Bambi, Diana, the moon goddess, moon exalted in Taurus, Tora, the triple 111777 moon goddess, VirgO, Taurus, Capricorn. They have been killing cows, bulls for centuries for this reason. Milky Way kid to stop her, the cow, La Vache qui rit, taking the summer solstice. The lady in red, Instagram, Red Bull, bullseye, breast of Venus. The woman is made into a sun goddess and made sterile, la femme solar, raw. Me Too bullies. Nikola Boulai went missing. And we've got Nikola Tesla, LA woman. The woman is made into a sun goddess and made sterile, a femme solaire, Ra, me too bully. She is made sterile, hence why free martins from twins, a free martin or free martin is an infertile female cattle with masculized behavior and non-functioning ovaries. Phenotypically, the animal appears female, but various aspects of female reproductive development are altered due to acquisition of anti-Mullerian hormone for the male twin. Comes to mind is obviously 13th of November, Old Farmer's Almanac, new moon, lava, LamB, making moon, Islam, fire, Ra, lava. North-south lunar nodes are now on the feminine axis of Isis. Rahu head north node in Pisces, northwest, and tail Ketu. South node VirgO, southeast. Iceland, longitude, latitude is northwest. Yellow, red, fire, air, masculine axis. Over feminine white black axis, X marks the spot. September the 8th, 1982, Chinese water dog, Virgin Mary, VirgO, birthday, Queen's death. Oh yeah, Johnny Hallyday death was on December the 5th, 2017, 10:10. So 82, 8 and a 2 is 10, and 19 is 9 and a 1 is 10. So Johnny Hallyday is another thing, yeah. I spoke about old Ron MacDonald in my last video, Noahide Law coming in, L7, Israel is the 7, L, Fire and Ice Rituals, Queen of Ice is King of Rock, Ra, Ra, Fire, Mars rules Aries, Mars, Water rules Scorpio, birth of El, Al, Perrier, Paris, Perish, Pair, Isis. So, yeah, so this is about Pakal. You can read that, and this brings me to this is a great images. You see, you've got this astronaut. This is Aquarius. When Venus, this comes back to Aquarius. Saturn is in Aquarius. Aquarius has been made into astronauts. Astronomy, when it's the astrologer, this is when you find the wisdom again, because we've got this image. So have you heard of the Palanek astronaut? There he is, and we've got this image that is coming in. They died in 2017, again just by the Queen's birthday on December the 5th. So this is the day that Neptune is going to go forwards. Then we're going to have Mercury going retrograde with Jupiter still retrograde in fire. So for this big division in France, we've got the milk of ice, Isia, Laetitia. We've got this split of the French people between, so yeah, that's another big thing. I've got you've got these two people of France, the old rockers, the Johnny Hallyday. So these are the two children of Johnny Hallyday, but then he remarried, and this woman's father, Laetitia, run in LA again, LA, a big nightclub called Amnesia, and she has been left with the entire all the money of Johnny Hallyday, which, you know, she took over his business and made him from this rocker into this healthy man. So there's very much the old France and the new France. You've got the kind of the Macron supporters and the old, this is the Insoumis, the you know, this is all the new rising in France, the old and the new. So you've got the sun and the moon again here. I had a big visionary dream about all this, and again it's the Laetitia, the layer of the ice, and there we're going to have the moon on Aldebaran coming up, the boom boom, it's the howl, the Johnny Hallyday. So there is, this is the passage of InaNNA, the passage, and this leaves me to my last post that I want to show you. So yeah, this is Laura the S, so the first wife of David. And yeah, this is another thing. This is the most famous French football player, who is actually brother-in-law. So he was married to my husband's sister, and we were very close. He's a very gentle man, and he was known as the Green Angel because he never had a red card. He never had a red card. He's this very lovely football player in a time when the football was rising. So he has just brought his book out for that lunar eclipse, The Green Giants. And here he is with David Hallyday. Maybe why I had this dream about all this premonition going on. So they've each brought out their own book. So this is the old France. These are the real kind of French people against the Macron French people, and the Laetitia, who's been turned into the big baddie. She was very loved when she was with Johnny Hallyday, and now there's this split in France, and they're rising this new political party, the Insoumise of France, La France Insoumise. So if we see, so we've got this Neptune, and also it's in this six. In this six, I've been talking about this for many years on my blog, on my site. So we've got this new France rising as Neptune is entering Neptune, the water, making this masculine. And you see Dominique Rocheteau is a very gentle, lovely man. And this is what... This is, so we're making this new, this solar. We've got the woman in the solar, and we've got the children in this blue, the Mercury taking on the lunar energy. Okay, so a last post, and then we're going to end. So this is InaNNA, Ishtar, Easter, Nana, Nan. Eggs are the retrograde circles of Venus. So my village is Egg, Enyon. AAG is pronounced N, so the hate or the love, hate, Enyon. Egg, leg, egg, Venus, and my village is in a 5-pointed star shape. You know that. So Egg, Venus in Virgo is the material girl, weaver of flesh. Venus in Pisces is the spiritual spiral of the spirit. So we have the flower of life in the material and the spiritual spiral. But I can't enter it. So Victoria Cotton WordPress, Victoria Cotton, I wrote this in about 2013, and it's about the flower of life or the spiral. So, I think of myself as quite innocent in these days. So the Fibonacci spiral or the spiral comparisons. So you've got the crystal or the Fibonacci. So very much Venus in Virgo, Venus in Pisces, spirit and flesh. So you see, I was working it all out. Air, ether, earth, fire, water, which is kind of what I'm explaining again now in my new way with astrology. Back to front, she's going to flip upright again. She changes tilt, and so InaNNA rises again as she is rising now. Fertility Goddess, but Spider-Man has taken her fertility and made her la femme solaire and taken the moon as his. So it's just red, blue, Israel. That's all. That's all. Moon, Sun, Venus, Mars, vertical horizon, flip-flop. New Year is 322. I use that because that's the Genesis you know, that's my postcode where I am, 322. The new year is the equinox, spring. It's not Father Christmas. Unlike the other planets in our solar system, Venus spins clockwise on its axis. All other planets spin anti-clockwise on their axis and orbit the sun in an anti-clockwise direction. Venus also orbits the sun anti-clockwise, but its unusual axis rotation is due to being upside down. It was knocked off its upright position earlier in its history. So this is the falling, you know, Venus upside down. So this is all that Maurice Cotterell, The Secrets of the Super Gods, Maurice Cotterell, that Lavette showed us 3-4 years ago, and Lars and I covered, and you really do have to go and watch it, because it really is explaining the Keeper of the Four Corners, Pascal, the Viracocha, the crab, and this is my friend posting good information here as well. So yep, this is where we are now. That eye, and Holly's posting the flower of life, which is exactly what I've just showed you. Okay, so I will put all this on my blog. We're not going to read it all now. InaNNA, also known as Ishtar in Mesopotamian mythology, was a powerful goddess of love, fertility and war in ancient Sumerian mythology. So war and peace, Mars and Venus. Venus and Mars, when they meet together, you can have that war and peace energy. Ancient Sumerian culture existed in the southern part of Mesopotamia, which is now modern-day Iraq, during the 4th to 3rd millennium BCE. The Sumerian civilization was one of the earliest civilizations in world history, rising to influence in 2900 BC, and was known for its development of writing, advanced architecture, and innovations in agriculture, trade, and governance. The Sumerians left behind okay, we're not going to read. So one of the most famous and confusing deities was called InaNNA. InaNNA was the daughter of the moon god Nanna and related to the queen of the underworld. InaNNA was a complex goddess embodying both the beauty and joy of life, as well as the darker aspects of death and the underworld. So the name Letitia I just showed you, the young girl, wife of Johnny Hallyday, that name means joy. They adopted 2 children called Joy and Jad, two Asian children, 2 girls. So interesting, her name. So she was known as Beauty and Joy, but she's now being considered to be, you know, the darker aspects, and all France hates her. She was the goddess of love, fertility, war, and wisdom, and was considered one of the most powerful deities in the Sumerian pantheon. So they've got this big court case going on about the inheritance, because Johnny was living in America. In America, the inheritance doesn't go automatically to the children. In France, all inheritance goes automatically to the children. So ScorpiO is inheritance, Mars, and justice is Venus, Libra. So one lesser known aspect of InaNNA's mythology is her association with the spider. According to some legends, InaNNA was said to have created the first spider, which was given the task of weaving her personal garments. The spider was said to be a symbol of life and fertility. So where I live, on the church of Saint-Saturnin was killed by Saint Martin de Tours. We have the labyrinth, and the labyrinth sits on the drain pipe. Incy Wincy spider climbing up the spout. Down comes the rain, wash the spider out. Incy Wincy spider climbs, out comes the sunshine, dries out the rain. Incy Wincy spider climbs the spout again. So it's this up and down journey of Venus above and below the ecliptic And that's what you'll learn if you go and see that documentary, The Super Gods. You'll see, and I've done videos about it in the past with Lars. So you see this south and north on the horizon, and we've been told the west and east. So there's really a mess up with the west and east, north and south, which gives us this tilt. But we're coming off the mutable cross. Taurus is now there for the summer solstice. Taurus is ruled by Venus. She's feminine, but they're bringing up Venus masculine. Aphrodite, that's Jacques de Compostelle, that's the shell. That's why we've got Jacques, and I've been explaining in my videos, Jacques is just the same as V for Vendetta. He's the Joker, he's the masked hero, he's Saint Martin de Tours with the cape. So this is just the French flag. It's just Israel. Flower of life, the material, spider. And that north-south is on the horizon. It's not on the vertical. It's all been inverted. Magnetic. Electric. So we're making, I told you about those electric spiders. They've been making spiders. That's what chemtrails are all about. It's the arca, the arc, the arc, the arc. We've now got the Archie. The arc is the Arica, the spider, the red and the blue. Covered that in all my old videos. You do have to catch up and watch the old videos. So you see the cycle of the lava, the retrogrades. The aligns with Sun for the rebirth of Venus, inferior conjunction. Venus becomes a morning star, focuses on the relationship to the outer world. Venus turns direct. So this is where Venus is now. She's rising as the morning star. It's the 5-0, the abduction and going into the underworld, and the apple, that's why Api Osiris, the bull, is called Api, the god of fertility. You've got the bull, the two bulls, the two side, and the 5-pointed star. This is my village. Look there, it's upside down, womb. It's the pentagram. It's that apple. Venus. Two directions, upright and upside down. The bullseye, Nicola Bullseye. The four corners of New Zealand. That's where I went and saw the closing of Pandora's box. There is the fixed cross. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo. Star of Ishtar. It's the Easter Island. You've got those four figures, the four corners. Cleopatra is an image from Aska, from Lars, just showing the different retrogrades, areas of Venus. So now you see in 2030 is when we're going to have that North Node in Scorpio, and we will be having this last buckle between Libra and Scorpio for 2030. Where did I see it? 29, 2030. We've got that in Capricorn. So what am I thinking? 26. Yeah, it's 2030, 2032. When we have that North Node. The North Node is now in Pisces, so feminine axis. Every 9 months, 18 years. So every 18 years it does a cycle. But when I was doing videos saying it's going to be in another 9 years, that was the countdown from now to 2030 when I said that head was going to be. So you see Venus Venus is 177. There is that distance. Venus rules Taurus, and we've got this girl Diane. It's double Diana, swimming from Cuba to Florida, and that is the distance. It's 177 kilometers, and we've got this tilt. Mercury is the 88 days. Okay, well, I think we're just about done. Now is boom. This was my wedding anniversary in 1985. So right now we've got Mercury right on the heart of Scorpio. We've got Ceres, Sun and Mars conjunct. Here's Enki. We've still got Enki here. I wonder what's happened to hair. So we've still got the moon is now waxing. And the moon has moved into Sagittarius already. Tomorrow it's going to be on Ninki, as we saw. And I wonder if we've got Hartley around still. Right, darlings. Well, I think we've covered enough for today. I will, as always, leave my site for readings. I'm going to be here for another month, and then I'm going to be traveling. So I hope that I'm not going to have problems with this Mercury retrograde. It's going to be some crazy Christmas, that's for sure. But yeah, so you want to come along now before Christmas. That would be lovely. And, you know, just look at all the different types of readings you can have. I really enjoy doing tarot transitions. You can use that to cover any subject, any question that you like, whatever you want to ask, what's going on. If you want to contact people on the other side, that's something else I'm very good at. If you know, departures, you've just lost somebody, anything you want to know, have a look at all the different readings I do. Okay, my darlings, I love you very much. Bye for now. Bye.